Welcome back, guys. This is Tripping on Bricks. I'm Lily, one of your co-hosts, and
I'm Molly, the other co-host.
Yeah, and we're here today. We have some students who work in KUGS, but today they're here as music lovers and people who really appreciate music as an art form. And yeah, working at KUGS is just happens to be a circumstance they all do. Yeah. So we're gonna go around and we're gonna talk about the last song we listened to kind of warm ourselves up. So yeah,
also introduce themselves.
Yes. Introduce yourself as you go around. So Molly, do you want to start us off? Go first.
I don't remember which song it was, but I listened to a song by the Broken Social Scene. The last thing, because I was just shuffling their songs that I had in my library. So
Nice. Was that when you were walking across Red Square just like an hour ago? Because I did yell at you. And I was like,
no, that was coming here.
Oh, okay.
Walking.
Yeah,
to
sorry.
Here.
I was like, I wonder if she's listening to that. The last thing I listened to was, I know what the album was, but I can't remember the exact song. It was Teenage Feeling by Nico Case off of Fox Confessor Brings the Flood, because my roommate and friend, she was doing her KUGS show this morning, and she last night was like, I don't know what I'm gonna do, I gotta figure it out. And I was like, I can help you. Fantastic. And so I was listening to that because she played it on the show, and I was like, yeah, gotta get my lessons in of Nico Case.
She has a new memoir out.
I know she's gonna be in Seattle talking about the new memoir, and the tickets are $30. But here's the thing: do you go to a reading of a book for an artist you like if they're not gonna sing? I don't care
My dad did.
I don't really care about the book. I want to hear her sing.
I care about.
I've never seen her sing, so first things first, I want to hear her sing. You know what I mean? Yeah. All right.
I'm Flynn. Should I say what I do at KUGS, or we don't?
You can if you want. You don't have to though.
Should I?
You're here as whoever you would like to be today.
Yeah, you could just say you're not even Flynn. You could say you're a whole other.
I could
say
lie.
that we're
Yeah.
not. Yeah.
Yeah, you guys can say what you do. You totally can. But I didn't want to put the pressure on you of like you're here representing KUGS today.
Sure.
I want you to be yourselves.
Okay. Well, then I'm Flynn,
Awesome.
and sometimes I'm at KUGS. I work there.
Did I?
And then I also am other places.
Ooh.
And I was just listening to, it was Hippies by Flip Turn. Yeah.
I'm Chloe. I also sometimes reside at KUGS, and I was listening to 24 Hours by Sky.
That's a good one.
Don't even get me started.
I'm sorry.
No, it's
I'm sorry
okay.
to provoke such an emotional response.
I'm gonna get emotional about that song every
Oh,
time I
no.
hear the name. Oh, it's so good.
Yeah.
I'm Milo. I hang out at KUGS occasionally for unrelated reasons.
That's what we should start all calling what we do. We should be like, yeah, I hang out in the
there
Wavelength
around in the
office
Bay Area.
sometimes.
And I was listening to Infinite Love Without Fulfillment by Grimes.
Okay. One expectation I do have for this podcast is that you guys are like super niche, and I'm just not gonna understand anything you're talking about. Yeah, so like you have to kind of live up
I
to
can try
that.
to live up to that.
Yeah, no, Molly's is like Molly's opportunity to be like, wait, I know stuff about music, and I'll just be like, yeah. I'm a hardcore like listen to the same like 25 albums for the rest of my life. I don't want to listen to anything else. And sometimes there's new stuff, and that's exciting. And then I'm like, nah, I'm good. I'm done with that.
I go through phases.
Yeah.
Same, I have eras of music.
Like I'll revert
Yeah.
often.
No, recently, Selena Gomez, she's come back for
Really?
me. No, I'm like back into it. I'm like, wait, this is kind of good.
And the scene, or just Selena Gomez?
Okay, well, both. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
yeah.
Well, last night, one of my roommates was like, I'm gonna watch this movie, and I was like, what movie is that? And they were like, it's Monte Carlo, and I was like, I've never seen that. And then I'd never seen it.
Carlo?
And then a Selena Gomez song played at the end, and I was like, we should all be listening to more Selena Gomez. Really
Selena
good.
Gomez in the Scene was the first like CD that I had as a kid. The one
That's
where she is
beautiful.
the like Year Without Rain CD.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the
Yo, those are visceral reaction.
I could talk a lot about that.
That's fantastic. Okay, let's get into our questions because we don't want to get distracted. We're gonna talk about, So we're gonna kind of start off, be talking about something similar to like what we were just talking about, which is, do you think the emotional connection you feel to music, do you think it started at a young age, and how did like your environment and your family influence that connection, or was it just like recent and you have just come into this love for music? Before like your college, you were walking around with silence playing. I've actually been told many times that people think that I'm a person who walks around with their headphones and
That was
with
like one of the
nothing
first
playing.
things you told me
Yeah,
about
because
yourself.
because
people think this
because
about
it's so
you.
shocking, and I just like have to. I feel like I need to like get this out of the narrative of who I am as a person. I walk around listening to music.
I do that sometimes.
Silence.
Sometimes.
Yeah,
sometimes
it's kinda
sometimes I
beautiful.
put on my headphones and I forget to put on music.
Yeah.
And then
for
I'm just
for
like,
the noise canceling, or just nothing.
Maybe you just don't want to be left alone. Like maybe that's it. 'Cause
Yeah.
headphones in, I'm not talking to people. I'm leaving them alone,
Yeah.
unless I like very personally know them, and then you might get yelled at.
or just like, especially like in class, I'm like, oh my god, everything is so
Yeah.
overwhelming and I just need the comfort.
That's so fair.
Or like sometimes it's really daunting for me to pick a song. Like I'm like,
I have a lot of good
10
stuff.
minutes to walk across
Yeah.
campus. What am I gonna listen
Too
to?
much
Oh my God.
pressure.
Yeah.
Or I get like stuck with my headphones in my hands. I'm like, I don't know where to put them. Just put them on my head.
I can't pull off headphones around a neck. I don't know. It's the long
Really?
hair. Like it doesn't work for me. My hair gets stuck in them, and then it's like I'm in class and I'm like one hand up here trying to pull my hair out of my headphones.
Yeah.
And so like I get the same thing. I'm like, I don't know what to do with these. I have to wear them.
You ever try giving someone a hug with headphones around your
It's
neck?
painful.
It's
for
like
most people.
I've done
Yeah.
it so many times where I like try to hug them and I'm like, I'm so sorry. Like this just like hit your like neck and it's not. Yeah.
I weirdly haven't.
No.
Maybe
See,
that's
it's
best
do,
for
like
me.
frequently. I don't know
Damn.
why.
Maybe I'm just not giving as many hugs as you.
When I like, this has happened to me
Yeah.
multiple times this week.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like
This
if you
week,
take
This week.
multiple
yeah.
times.
But if I like take the headphones off to hug someone, it's like that's a whole thing.
Yeah,
You
because
know?
I'm like I don't want to like take it off and like hit you in the back with my
Yeah.
headphones.
Yeah.
And then I
Take 'em
just
off,
have
put
to
'em
let
on
it
them.
happen. And then it's also the backpack.
Right, let
It's
them
like I'll have like
experience
my
what you're going
headphones.
through.
I'll like take off my headphones because I'm listening to something or not. And and then I like have my backpack on and I'm like, oh god, that was the worst hug I've ever given.
Because of no backpack hug.
Yeah,
that's tough
backpack hug
already.
and then
That's
you
tough
have
already.
like this like
Backpack hug is better, I think, than tote bag hug, because tote bag hug, the tote bag's falling onto the other person.
Yeah.
And then it's like, so I just have hit you.
I don't know if I'm giving enough hugs to have experienced
No,
any of this.
I'm like,
I'm giving minimal hugs.
Okay.
I can be honest. But like the few I give, you know, there's
They're encumbered.
I feel
by
like
other
Yeah.
no,
objects.
exactly. I like
Yeah.
don't feel like I give that many
well,
hugs.
and then I think,
but
and then
it
the few
always
hugs that I'm
is.
getting where there is like stuff, I'm like, okay, so other people's impression of my hug is that it's bad because I'm not able to fully hug because I am restrained.
Ow.
Yeah,
Headache.
exactly. Yeah.
is this like something that you really think about, Lily?
Yeah, actually it is. I'm not joking.
I'm so sorry.
Because okay, like I don't know, when I give someone a hug, it's like it's not like a side hug or something. Like I'm not a
No.
like so like no exactly no like I don't know. You know people that are like, do you guys know people that are like light huggers? Like they don't go in for like it's not like a bear hug. It's like they're like
I can't do that.
a bear hug.
No, like a light hug.
Oh exactly.
If I'm
yeah.
hugging someone, it's serious.
It's
Yeah.
serious, right? Exactly, because I wouldn't be hugging you if it wasn't serious.
Go big or go home.
But when I'm
Exactly.
wearing a backpack, I can only really give a light hug because it's my backpack's so heavy and it's like, I don't know. And so I'm giving off an impression that I'm a light hugger, and that's like weird in my opinion.
it's not who you are.
Well, because then I feel like I'm
you
giving
are.
off this impression of like I just hug a lot of people, and so like I don't know. Guys, I can't. We gotta
time
change
for that.
topic.
Okay.
Get into the like
This podcast is actually about hugging, guys.
Right.
We're switching it up.
You hit a nerve. I just have a lot of thoughts about hugs.
Okay.
Yeah,
What
okay.
was
So
the question?
when did your emotional when did your connection to music start? When was the first what's like your first moment where you were like, I feel this song is like provoking me in some way?
Oh, immediately. Like, out of the womb.
Out of the womb?
Yeah.
There was music playing in the hospital?
Yeah. My dad played music, like, while my
I don't
mom
know
was
if I've
in
ever
labor
asked
with
that.
me.
That's a good question to ask.
Like, and, like,
was there a birth song?
That is a
yeah.
really good
It was,
question.
I think it was a Wilco album
Oh, that's
that my
beautiful.
dad was playing.
He brought like a CD, or was this like a MP3? Like, what was the situation?
I don't know. He's
Vinyl.
very briefly talked about it. I should probably.
You
No,
should.
maybe
I
it
wonder if
was
he still has the
Death
CD.
Cab album. It was either Wilco or
Both of these are very
the,
telling.
or
Yeah,
the Employment
who-
Pages album by Death Cab for Cutie, because my dad says that he listened to that a lot when I was like, born.
Nice.
So yeah.
So out of the womb.
Yeah,
Straight out.
essentially.
Yeah.
And, like,
okay.
My dad, I have like, it's all from my dad mostly. Like,
Yeah.
he would like play music, and he still like plays music constantly. Like, there is never a silent moment in his house because it's always music.
Okay.
So that's where it emotionally first started. I
Yeah,
guess.
and
It's
so
just,
so
like,
you would say that
right
like
after
your
that.
family was like very added to that.
Oh, entirely.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I think for me, like, it's a hard one. I have this really distinct memory of being in my aunt's car when I was probably like 7, 8, and she had a like mix CD, and I definitely felt like some of the music on it I wasn't supposed to hear. Like, I was like, this is too adult, but I was kind of like into it because it's like that feeling of like, I don't know, that family member who you're like, they're not my parent, and they're cooler than my parents will ever be.
She's a cool.
She's the
aunt.
cool aunt. Yeah. Well, she was
Cool
also
aunt.
driving me to get ice cream, I think, in a waffle cone. So like,
Oh.
Oh.
yeah, no, she
So
was
she
the cool
had
aunt.
money too.
Yeah, I think she was 18. But
Waffle cone.
yeah, but I remember that. Like, I don't remember any of the songs on it, but I remember being like, I just felt so excited. Like, I was like, this is awesome. And then from then on, like, I don't know. I have lots of memories of music, and they come like slowly sometimes to me. Like, we were in a meeting on Tuesday, and I was playing a playlist, and because I can't do our meetings without music in the background because it's like a deafening silence, and I'm like, but I was playing music in the background. Yeah, we don't talk. But I was playing music, and an Over the Rhine song came on, and I was like, oh my god, I haven't heard Over the Rhine in like so long. And I was like, but I used to listen to them when I was a kid so often, like with my mom. And then I went and I looked, and I started like listening to Over the Rhine over the last 2 days a lot because I don't know, I was just like, but it's been like 10 years since the last time I listened to them. And so I think things like that are maybe like it's like time capsules in my brain where like
I get that.
there's a moment, and it felt so important, I think, when I was younger, and then I forgot about it because it was like driving in the car.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of it is like driving in the car. But I would say it was all family. Like it was my mom and my dad. My dad every day, the whole year of 7th grade, on the drive to school, would play Breakfast at Tiffany's like at the loudest volume he possibly could. He really wanted to embarrass me going into school, but I don't know. It worked. Because I would like run out of his car and be like, okay, bye, thank you so much. He parked far away that no one could hear though, so it was like kind of ridiculous. I don't know. Yeah, so it's things like that. It's a lot of driving in the car, I think.
The
There's
car
a
is
lot of
definitely
moments where
integral.
I remember driving in the car.
Yeah.
Those are nice emotional stories, but I think for me, when I heard TGIF by Katy Perry, I knew I was
because
gonna be a
that's-
fan
okay,
of
yes.
music for the rest of my life. I was like,
You're like,
6 years
this
old, and I was like,
is
yes, party! Oh my god!
I got the feeling you liked Katy Perry.
Of
I was
course,
like,
I
you're into
love her.
Katy
One of the
Perry.
boys. Oh my god!
That was my first concert.
Katy Perry's music videos.
What? You went to see
Well,
what she's
except for
gonna say.
like my first concert conscious. Like my
Okay.
parents took me to concerts when I was a baby, but 5th grade I saw Katy Perry on her Roar tour.
Oh.
Whoa.
Roar.
Yeah.
That's serious.
Dude, that's life changing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
That's
like-
like I dressed up.
Oh my god,
Like
what
her?
ass?
Yeah, what else?
Was
I
it
was
like a
wearing, like, a
tiger and you
Cotton
were
candy
Katie?
pink wig.
Okay.
Aw.
Yes.
And like a tutu, I think.
Love.
And
Katy Perry's music videos
Yeah.
were something in middle school that I like became obsessed with, and I would just like come home and watch.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
family
It was.
computer.
Yeah.
Oh, and-
No, like
and
on
Boom
my
Clap.
nook,
Oh my God.
up in my room. Do you guys remember nooks?
Yes.
I was up in my bed, on my loft bed with my nook, and I would be like, okay, which Katy Perry music video did I watch today? My friend reminded me of one recently. It was the one where she joins the military.
The one that got away.
Yeah. What was going on? Like, I
Well,
don't
she
know.
had like stories to tell.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know if she had-
No, the conversation was
That's so deep.
what?
She's a
That's so
storyteller.
bad. I just like don't think people make music videos like that anymore.
No.
No. It's just like visuals.
Yeah.
The
I want
California Girls one, like when I was
Oh my
like
God.
a kid,
I did not
was, like,
realize
so
how like
raunchy.
No,
but I
literally.
like would like hide.
But I
it.
had to watch it. I had to see.
I was like, it's out and I need to see it. No one can stop me.
Because I was like addicted to rules as a kid. Like if something I
Oh,
thought
yeah.
if like something was like too inappropriate or I thought I shouldn't be watching something, even though my parents like did not care, I was like, no, I can't. But Katy Perry was one of the things like
Well, because she
I
was
let
like
through.
small town girl
yeah.
making like these songs that were I don't know, yeah
I
no
was like,
it was
she's just like me for real. In, like, first
literally
grade.
we're the same. Okay, so love. So TGIF.
Yeah, TGIF.
Yeah. Did you enjoy the Kenny G cameo in the music video?
I do not remember
Oh my
that.
God. Yeah, I know he comes out and he's like on the frat lawn playing.
I do remember
Yeah.
that, but I think I only figured that out like years later when I was like, oh, TJF, I'm gonna watch this music video randomly. I don't think I knew who Kenny G was at like 7 when I first watched that.
I didn't. I just was like, who's this guy?
Yeah.
But now I'm
Yeah,
like,
the
now I'm like,
saxophone.
okay, yeah, chill, perfect. Lynn, Chloe.
Yeah.
You have.
I do. I do. I'm just trying to think of how to.
No, you're good. You're good.
Yeah.
My dad was like a really big part of like my musical influences growing up because he would play a lot of music. My mom also would play music, but he would like make me songs, and so I have a lot of like memories of like kind of like my lullabies. He like would make me lullabies about like
That's so cute.
about me and like
That's so
I'm getting emotional.
yeah,
so special.
yeah. So I have like I'm
The rest of us are
very-
like, our parents showed us music.
my dad made me songs. There
That's
was
so
one that was like
sweet.
Chloe Sunshine, happy all the time. Like there's
Aw.
it's really and then I also like I think because it was around me so much, that's like why I started like making my own music. So I would just
Yeah.
like sing to myself when I was younger, and then I also just like I don't know, it was a lot of like just around.
Yeah.
It just was kind of a part of my life, and I feel like I don't know, there wasn't really a point where I was like, yeah, I'm
That's how I
emotionally
feel.
attached. I just
Yeah.
thought like
Yeah.
everyone just kind of has music
Yeah.
around.
Yeah.
I remember
Yeah.
the first time I realized that people don't have like
Yeah.
they didn't
No,
necessarily
yeah.
grow up with like music everywhere.
Yeah.
Like I used to know someone who like only was raised on like Christian music and then like on their own
Yeah.
like branched out, and like I was like talking to them one day and I was like, yeah, this like Paul Simon album my dad used to play all the time, and they were like, Paul Simon? Like who's that?
That's
and I was
my
like,
that's
"You
my
don't know who
dad.
Paul Simon?
My dad was raised like very conservative religious, and so like he has lots of stories of like he's like, the year I lived alone, and that's how they always start. He's like, the year I lived alone, I got so many like cassettes and things, and he was like, and I learned about so much music. And it's interesting to think that like I feel very much the same as you, like music was just around, like it was just always there. My mom would play like guitar in the living room, and I have like lots of memories of it, just almost to the point of annoyance, I feel like, where I would be like,
Yeah.
can we ever have a moment of
My dad
silence?
plays guitar watching a TV show.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like,
Or even just like music playing in the background. I'm like, does it have to be all the time? Like, and which now I'm like, yeah, no, I get it. But like, I don't know. And then growing up into a teenager and hearing my dad talk about this moment, like a time where he discovered all this, I'm like, oh, that's so interesting. Like, some people it doesn't click. Sometimes some people like it's just not there until like they're older. And then I think maybe that's why like my dad was so much of an influential person for music for me, because he was also discovering at the same time.
Yeah. It also feels like a privilege, like when you find out that people didn't like grow up with it
Yeah.
everywhere. Like
Yeah.
you're like, wow, I got the like privilege of knowing who all 4 Beatles were by the time I was like 6.
The privilege of, do you guys know what Cloud Cult is? I listen to Cloud Gold. Oh, there's a ton of it in the KUGS library.
Okay.
Yeah, like 8 CDs. That's another thing is like you kind of that's the privilege thing, the privilege of having to listen to things that you're like, I don't really like this.
Yeah.
Like, but someone else does and they get it, and that's Cloud Gold for me. Listen to so much of it, I just don't understand it.
I used to like when I first started working at KUGS, I feel like I would be like, yeah, or like the other staff members would be like, oh, do you know like the magnetic fields or something? And I'm like, yeah, it's like a lullaby to me. Like I used to listen to that when I like went to bed, and they're like, oh, okay, you had like indie parents,
No,
and then
literally.
I like kept saying, oh yeah, Belle and Sebastian, like a lullaby,
Yeah.
and then they're like, you always say this, so I was like, I'm sorry.
But it is lullaby music. My brother had like 4 They Might Be Giant CDs, and he had one of those big like rotating CD players, and so he just left all of them in there, and it would play They Might Be Giants 24/7. Like he never turned it off, so I fell asleep to that for like 10 years.
I grew
It was
up on the
beautiful. I loved
the
it.
Kids They Might Be Giants album.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
no, I
So
know,
good.
me too.
I was
Yeah.
obsessed
Yes.
with it.
I got
that and Schoolhouse Rock.
Schoolhouse
Oh, yeah.
Rock.
Yeah.
I was obsessed, and my
mom's a teacher,
parents.
so.
Well, same.
Yeah,
Yeah,
me too.
My parents still
Yeah.
have the DVD, and I went and I watched it because I was like, I remember this one and I want to see, and I forgot about the loading screen where it's like an old diner, and then it's like you can do a sundae or a burrito or the whole enchilada, and the whole enchilada is it plays all of them without stop. And I was like, dude, that's crazy. And it's just so interesting, like the things like that, like They Might Be Giants. When I felt like I thought that they were a kids band, and then I grew up and I was
Yeah,
like,
me
it's
too.
adult
It's just adult
music.
music
I
for like
know.
nerdy guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, literally.
Like I
Like
love
the Bare
it.
Naked Ladies.
But
That's what I
there's-
thought about them.
Did you grow up?
Did
you grow up?
Yeah.
That's kind of awesome.
I get all 3 of them, or I used to get all 3 of them confused, and then, or I said all 3 of them. I'm thinking of what's the one that came and played at Western?
Duck Cover Cutie?
No.
I don't.
They're like
They
in the
like
big-
in that
recently.
genre?
Oh my god, no! It's just that they have like naked in the name.
Oh.
Starfucker?
Or like giants.
Did Starfucker play here?
Yeah, well they played in Bellingham.
They played in Bellingham.
What
like,
is
a
the-
year and a half
Oh my
ago.
goodness! Like a year, 2 years ago, giants naked.
Naked Giant.
Naked Giant.
They played it. They played it Longstock like my freshman.
I was like,
sophomore
see,
year or something.
I get, because I had it in my head. I was like, naked giants, but then I was like, no, that's the same name as They Might Be Giants. And then that always happens to me because are they both local? No, one of them's just local. Are
Naked
neither
Giants
of them
is
local?
local.
Yeah,
Okay.
They Might Be Giants can't be local. I would have known by
No,
this
yeah,
point.
they're not.
No, see, that's what I thought. I thought that, I was like, oh,
Well,
cool.
people are-
Bare Naked Ladies, I think, are from Vancouver. They're from BC.
Oh,
Or I know
people
they're from
have been-
BC.
Yeah.
People,
That would make sense.
There's
That makes-
a
yeah.
there's like there's all
Canadian.
like
Humor.
All
stuff,
3
rumors
of
of bands spread around. Like for like 6 months, the first year I was here, I fully believed that the Hat and the Heart started in Bellingham because someone told me that,
That
and
makes
I was
sense.
like,
That would make sense.
yeah, exactly, it makes sense, and so I believed it. But they didn't start
You
it.
just have a trusting heart.
The Head and the
Some
Heart,
kind
like the
of-
Lumineers, all of those. Like,
They feel like they
mom
would have been
music.
They
Like
feel like
Okay.
they
That was
my-
would've started.
no, wait.
Oh,
no,
I
it's,
thought you were
good.
saying like it's mom music, and I was like,
well,
I
that's
listened
what
to
my
that.
mom listened to when I was
Yeah.
like all throughout middle school. Like that was big.
My mom was playing like Bob Dylan in the car.
Whoa.
She was like, and she was like, listen to this. She was like, you need to learn a lesson about the society, and I would be like, okay, cool.
When I was in like third or fourth grade, my mom and stepdad like started like a party phase, so they were listening to like dance and club music like constantly. So that
Dude,
was,
that's kind of
like,
awesome.
really ingrained in my
People
like,
come over to your house and they're like, Molly's in a 24/7 party.
I think I've entered my dance party phase.
Mm.
Like I was
I think-
I was in like
I think
indie.
everyone has.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I'm in, it's well the recession.
Yeah.
There you go. Indie
I thought you were
Yeah.
gonna say Brat, and I was like,
Well, yeah.
Well,
Well, I think
that
that's like the
is
beginning.
tied to
Brat,
the
yeah.
Brat is the beginning of the recession.
Brat is the beginning of like the cultural response to the reception.
Yeah, well, there's like
recession.
an actual like studied correlation between like music getting really good when the economy's really bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, because people have
New
life
Lady Gaga.
experiences.
Mm.
Oh yeah, no, that's good. I want Flynn to answer, and then I'll say what I have to
Yes.
say about Lady Gaga.
I feel like, yeah, similar to what y'all were saying, music was just kind of around and on. My mom had like a Bare Naked Ladies kids album. Have y'all ever heard that?
I think I've heard about it, but I haven't listened.
That sounds
vaguely
radical.
familiar.
It was so
radical.
It was radical. It was.
They're teaching you the 1, 2, 3s, and they're like, fuck the
It's
cops.
bad.
No, I love that album.
It's bad.
It was just like cute, and I would listen to it. I think we wore the CD out, like one of those.
Oh, I definitely have a few.
Yeah. But I also just like my grandpa collected CDs like his whole life, like crazy
That's
CD
beautiful.
collection.
That's
so-
what I'm going for currently.
Yeah,
Oh,
me
me
too.
too.
Come to my house, you'll see my little tiny CD collection. That's the one thing that my roommates are like when we all move. Like me and one of my other roommates are it's our CDs, and we're like when we move out, there'll be some tough things happening. Like
It's like
Yeah, for
custody.
Ben and I ever break up, like
Oh, it's
our CD collection right now is so big and so interspersed.
no. And then you create like a connection to that CD. And
Yeah.
you're like, wait, but I got that for 25 cents.
Yep.
That's mine.
That one.
Talking about like children's albums though, that like reminded like I had two vivid children's albums as a kid, and one of them was like Mary Had a Little Amp, and
I feel like I know. Yeah.
yeah, it was like there was an REM song on it. There was like an Indigo Girls covering like a children's song. Wild Wild Party in the Loquat Tree for yeah. And so like some other ones of just like pop like artists, pop and rock artists of like the early 2000s doing children like songs for kids, and that is like ingrained in my music taste. And then I also had like a children's introduction to folk music that my mom played all the time that had like Pete Seeger and all that.
I used to host a kids show, like it was a kids hour on the station back in Colorado, KVNF, and it was called Pot of Gold. And it was like their longest running show, and it was really exciting. I had like Saturday morning kids show, and I did that like all through middle and high school. And so I like got very well versed in like the niche kids albums because like there's only so much out there that's
Yeah.
like listenable.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I'm not playing fucking Baby Shark at 9 in the morning
Yeah.
on the radio.
Did you ever? There was one that I bought a CD player at Value Village, and I went to test it on the electronics testing wall, and I pressed play to see if it would like turn on, and as there was a CD in it, and that's how I knew I had to buy it. Was the CD in it was a CD from when I was a kid, and there's one song on it called "The Pretzel Store," and it's like a bumblebee on the cover of the CD, and it's very like niche, like indie kid growing up songs, but I'd never seen it before in my life besides in my home, and then to open the CD player and
Whoa.
seeing it there, I was like, I have to buy the CD player.
That's beautiful.
Obviously.
That might be too niche even for me.
It was
Yeah.
like I went to the pretzel store to buy me a box of pretzels, and I loved it as a kid. I ate that shit up. I was like, yes, the pretzels. So transition over to our next question, talking about Lady Gaga.
Okay.
Was there a pivotal moment like in your guys' like childhood or teenage years where you realized that music was something that wasn't just like entertainment, like it wasn't just to listen to? Because for me, if I can be so frank, it was when I was like sitting in the movie theater and I was watching Percy Jackson, The Lightning Thief, and then the casino scene came on and Poker Face by Lady Gaga played, and I was like, I'm having a visceral reaction to this. Like, I'm freaking out. I was like, I understand music at another depth. I think I've done.
I
think
talk
I've done
about that scene
drugs,
with as many
like-
people as I can. I love the scenes.
No,
Remember,
okay,
like, Eat the
because
Lotuses,
what
I was
is it
obsessed with
about?
that, like,
What is it about
everything
that
about
scene
it.
in that movie that like
it's
the
perfect.
song adds to it in such a way? I feel as if I have done LSD. I'm like,
Yeah.
I am on
know what it's
drugs
like now.
with them.
They did drugs in Percy Jackson?
Yeah.
They ate lotus flowers.
It's these,
and
like,
it made
cookies.
them.
Oh.
They got
They
weird.
don't they feel
Okay.
they feel
They
like
feel-
stuck in, they feel like they're so happy and that they don't even want to leave. Like, why would they leave? They're so happy. But there's this like the scene, there's like flashes of like light and color, and they're like orbs, and they like are floating all around, and I was a child and I was like, this is it. And I didn't even know it was Lady Gaga like in that moment, because I was too young, but I was like, this song, it doesn't matter who wrote it or if it was made for this movie, I don't care, it's perfect. And I think that was that for me. That was like a very special moment. Yeah. And I still to this day when I watch the movie, I'm like, this is what drugs are like. I've never done most of them, but like this is what drugs are like.
My like story of that is completely like opposite to that, because mine is my mom was in a choir when I was a kid, like throughout my entire like childhood, and it was a relatively small choir, and I would go to her performances and sit in the crowd, and then one day, one of the performances they were covering the song "No Time," if you know that one. It's a very beautiful song. I think it's an Irish tune, I believe. But I like was sitting there, and it was like in this auditorium, and I was probably like 5 or 6, and it was all of these like it was a women's choir, so it was all women's voices coming to me, and I just like started crying as a little kid just because it was so beautiful.
Yeah, so that's really different than when I watched Percy Jackson.
That was what I thought of, and that was what you thought of.
It's like transcendent.
Yeah,
I think
it
both
felt
of them are
very-
transcendent in like very different ways. I might have cried when I first saw that, honestly. That movie changed my life.
I was obsessed with that movie.
Logan Lerman?
I thought that
He's
everyone
beautiful.
said that it was really bad.
That was
Oh
the
yeah, it
second
sucks.
one.
No,
No,
well,
what?
Okay, because I've gone back and I've watched The Lightning Thief again. Like, it does suck.
Okay, yeah,
I'm not
really
gonna lie.
different
But like,
from the
as a
book?
child,
It's different from the book,
Okay,
but
so
like,
I like-
but it's special in a way that it was
Yes.
like there was a period of time, I think, during the 2010s where like movies were being made based off of books, and they were like the books were not being used in reference, I don't know, and they all were bad, and like there's something so beautiful about the badness of them.
I agree.
yeah.
No, I
couldn't do
agree.
it. I like actually when
So you would enjoy the Percy Jackson TV show because it is book accurate.
yeah.
Yet I do not find the same amusement
Wow.
as I find from the movie.
I think
Well,
there's just a
no
nostalgia
poker
from
face.
the
No
movie.
Logan Lerman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I watched the
You
TV
can't
show,
watch-
and I was like, this is
You
these
can't-
are
you
some
can't- it's-
12-year-olds. I'm
It's very
21 or
odd.
something.
No, literally, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It's
But
very,
they're
it's
like
very.
18 in the movie. They're like old.
No, literally,
Like,
it's
like
very,
college
it's very
dudes.
odd to have watched the movie growing up and having that been what I attached like my feelings to. Obviously, the books. I read the books, but I was like,
Get it wrong.
no, but I was like 10, and I was like in love with Percy Jackson because I had read the books and I had watched the movie, and then they came out with this TV show, and so I have these like childhood attachments to Percy Jackson, and now it's like a 13-year-old boy, and I have to be like, no.
No, yeah.
Cut it out.
No.
No. I'm like, no. I watched the show because I was a fan of the books, but the whole time I was like, this feels wrong.
Yeah.
This feels weird. Like because in the movies they were like 18.
Yeah.
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 So
It's weird.
yeah.
I think also, like, I think I read the Percy Jackson books after the movie had come out, but I hadn't seen the movie, but I knew that Logan Lerman was in it. So
That's
when
all
I was
I
reading the
needed.
books, I always imagined
You imagined Logan
him
Lerman.
as
Yeah.
Logan Lerman.
I did too.
Yeah.
I had read the book. I read the book after I saw the movie because my mom just kind of was like, "You're gonna love this," and I was like, "Okay, yeah, fantastic." But I also imagined Logan Lerman.
I have a story
Fantastic.
about my
Tell us.
music connection.
Please.
My cousins, I would have they lived like 2 blocks from me my whole childhood, and they had all the Just Dance games. And I remember I was
Nice.
over there once hanging out with the older gay cousin. I didn't know he was gay at the time because unless someone told me directly they were gay, I had no idea. I was oblivious. And so him and his girlfriends were all dancing to "Oh No" by Marina and the Diamonds.
Oh.
And I was watching them and I was listening to the
Oh my
lyrics.
God.
And I felt something
That-
inside of me
Oh
change. Like
my
I was like
God.
transfixed and I was like, oh
Yeah.
my God, like what is this? Like and it was like I think it was a premonition of my future as a gay boy. But
That's beautiful.
I think about
Something
that all the
clicked in
time.
that
Yeah,
moment.
something clicked in that moment, and yeah, it was.
Fantastic.
Can I?
Always
Yes,
comes down to
go,
you two.
go.
Okay, so I have 2. The
Okay,
first
fantastic.
moment where I was like, oh, like I can have music taste. Like I can be annoying about this a little bit. Was the song Bambi by Hippocampus, and that's still one of my favorites. But I would listen to that on my school Chromebook in like 7th grade math class, being like,
School Chromebooks. I downloaded so much music from YouTube on those.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
But also 8th grade, I had a huge Queen phase, and that was
Oh.
pivotal.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like that's a similar time period to when I had
Yeah.
my Queen phase.
Yeah.
We all, and I think as a society something happened.
Well, I watched Bohemian Rhapsody in
Okay.
the theater, and I had a gay moment where I went, oh, and I saw Freddie Mercury in drag on the big screen, and
Yeah.
I'm listening to, what's that one song, like, the Break Free, is it called Break Free?
I want to. I know what you're
Yeah,
saying. I want
yeah.
to breathe.
And something chemical.
Guys, those good harmonies.
Something chemical happened, and then I
Yeah.
That's so
wore
beautiful.
high-waisted blue
Oh.
pants for a while. It was awesome.
Okay, yeah, no, I believe it,
Yeah.
but I also like.
You know,
We
I
all
love
had our
them.
our you know
With a
our
white
choices.
No, I didn't. Not that far.
I at one point in my life wore a tweed blazer and leggings, so things
You know,
change.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
No, when I
vibes.
laugh at myself and I see the picture so much, I'm like,
I did at one point dress like a English teacher, and I was a 6th grader.
Happens
I
to
was
the best
in
of us.
That's
sixth grade,
just
I was wearing,
awesome.
like, fedora and like the print T-shirt and like a blazer. That was my.
Oh, that's
Okay,
like essentially
that's
what I dressed
awesome.
like in
That's
6th
awesome.
grade.
yeah, I was.
We would have been friends, I think.
I was trying. I was like, I just saw the blazer at Goodwill and I was like, I want that blazer.
I had a big
That's
blazer
real.
phase around the Queen phase.
Yeah,
Big, like,
that's also when
like
I
a
was wearing
cool
my blazer.
jacket. Yeah. Yeah.
I like got really.
I
into
recently got rid of the
neon-
blazer.
Neon and mustaches.
Oh,
yeah.
that's so 2014.
You were
Yep.
the little mustache on the finger.
Yeah, I feel like in 5th grade I like. Well, no, I was really into mustaches. I created a character.
Dude, the way you said that, I'm scared.
I thought, well, no, I thought you meant like a band.
No.
Like music, like neon and mustaches.
Like
sounds
I
like
no. Like I would wear neon. Like I would have this neon cheetah print tank top, and
Did you
then
shop at
I'd wear.
Justice?
That was when I shopped at. No, exactly. And then I had on top of that I Heart Mustaches neon shirt, and I would wear these like.
I think you
neon
could pull
blue
this off
pants.
again. I think you could
Oh,
pull
yeah.
this off again.
I don't
yeah,
think you're envisioning
I
what
think I'm envisioning something great.
I'm
It's
envisioning like
terrifying.
exactly what I wore
that
in
you
like
I think,
4th grade.
I think
Yeah,
that there's a certain
yeah.
amount of confidence that you have to have, and I think you have that, and you could pull it off if you really wanted to. I think if you
I don't
worked-
think I want to. I'm sorry.
and that's fair, but I'm saying like I think you could bring that back. You can make it happen.
I've been saying
again.
I think we need to bring back derp and mustaches.
yes.
And
I'm
I
just
want the
one.
swag
I'm
face.
just
I say
okay.
swag
I'm
in
I
response
have, it's
to
this
things.
swag right here. I like it when before I bought this. I was
Guys,
like, "Is this corny? Can I wear this?"
I accidentally texted lit yesterday, like without
Mommy.
thinking.
I've been saying lit.
Mommy.
From-
That's
Oh my God,
horrible. Cut
It was,
that.
it was so I just like it just happened. It was just like all of a sudden I was texting my friend and then lit came out and I was like
I say lit. I say epic. I had a beautiful
Epic
moment.
is different. Epic is different. I say YOLO.
Lily,
Yeah,
I
that's
respond to you all the time and I say swag.
Yeah, that's great. Lit is different.
The other
Lit
day-
is-
I think it's different if you're saying
You know
But
what?
like no, but when someone says
None of
lit
us
to
are
me, I've
saying
had
sucked
like
it, so
I remember
we're all
like
safe.
in the past year when people have said lit to me because it's been so few times and I'm kind of touched when they say it.
Okay, beautiful.
Like I think it's
Kinda
awesome.
I think
nostalgic.
it's
I'll
okay
say
to
I'll
say
say
Because then I
lit
know
just
it's
to
true
you.
emotion.
Really,
Yes, say
yeah.
it to me.
I think it's okay to say lit, but if you're saying like it's lit,
Okay, no,
That's a
I just
whole
said
nother
lit.
thing.
I also have started
But
saying
let's get
my friends
Or
say
like-
facts a lot,
Yeah.
but I've just started saying
Oh, yeah.
fact without the S.
I like that.
you're reinventing it.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Right here you go.
No, I can't wait for like the 2014 like Zoe Deschanel to come back.
I think
I'm
that
I think
waiting.
it is
I'm
coming back.
instilled.
the American Apparel disco pants that's coming back. This year.
Oh yeah.
I've been saying this to everyone, so
But
everyone
I'm
knows
really
I
into
predict
tweed.
That is a dangerous place. That is a dangerous. I was a tweed child.
I am
I was a
really
tweed
into
child.
tweed. I
No,
was
I have
too.
so many photos. I was a straight tweed child. I wore like newspaper boy caps.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
There's a photo of me as
Yes.
a child
Yeah.
where I'm wearing a newspaper boy cap.
Up against a
And, like,
wall because
collar.
it's a brick
Yeah.
wall and I'm right there.
Yeah.
I have that photo, yeah. And there's also like there's lots of like flowy dresses that are like very minimalist. I was Zoe Deschanel's character Jess from New Girl for Halloween, and I like felt something inside of me change as soon as I put the polka dot dress
like,
on.
shifted.
I was like, this is too far. I've gone
Too
too far.
far.
Too
Well, it was like striped,
Not
blue
far
striped
enough.
dress. It was like one of those H&M ones, like you guys remember the ones that are very formed, and then a polka dot cardigan, and I was like, this is too much. I can't do this. I was like, I don't think I'm ready for this again. Yeah.
disagree.
I do have a
I've been waiting
Pinterest
for it.
board with a lot of Zooey Deschanel
Yeah, who doesn't?
and like tweety outfits. I was like, I'm gonna start doing that. I'm gonna
Bring it back.
Yeah.
But then sometimes it has to be so specific. Like sometimes you
Sometimes
see
I feel really
Listening,
overdressed.
obviously, to Zooey Deschanel really gets me in a place where I could do twee again.
Hey.
It's like a drug.
She and him.
Oh, oh, it's so good.
She-
So good. So one of my friends last week,
Such a
Him
beautiful.
and she.
exactly, when I was like 12, I was like, I'm Ward and Zooey Deschanel are in love, and you can't tell me otherwise. And that's facts.
Wait, what?
M. Ward and Zooey Deschanel
Oh,
are
I
in
thought
love.
you said Emily and like her sister. I was like, what?
No, I was like, M. Ward and Zooey Deschanel, they're in love.
Oh,
and no
M.
one can tell me
Ward.
otherwise.
Okay.
And
Yes.
no, a couple weeks ago, I was in Oregon and I was trying to choose my song of the week, and I turned to my friend Nicole, who used to wear a leopard print fedora, so she's chill.
Yes.
And I was like, what should my song of the week be? And Nicole was like, do you listen to M. Ward? And I was like, and then my friend Ella from across the room goes, she won't fucking shut up about it. She loves M. Ward. And I was like, I do listen to M. Ward. Yeah, she and him, they're in my heart. It's actually so sad. I believe that they should be together. I know that they're both in happy relationships.
She's with the property brother.
What?
Yes.
Good for
Are you
her.
kidding?
Isn't
She
she
with the
is
one
with
that
the
I thought
property
was
brother?
gay.
I think they're both
I thought they were both gay, and
Well,
I don't know.
They
They're
give
s-
gay.
I
Okay.
think she's with the one that like
Secretly
everyone
gay.
thought was gay, and then he got together
Well,
in this
are
relationship.
they twins?
They are twins.
Okay.
I think.
Are they?
So speaking
religious?
of like fads, trends over
They
the
give me really
years,
religious vibes.
because twee is like very much a trend that happened. Do you think that like your music taste over the year like has changed like your fashion and like
Over
everything
the year or years?
over the years?
Okay.
Like has there been like or is there has there something that stayed consistent, or is it just like ever constant changing?
Well, I told you about the high-waisted blue pants. There's a photo somewhere of high-waisted blue, and like they were like canvas.
Yeah,
Type.
I can imagine what
Very
these pants look
80s.
like.
Built
Like
in-
you were on the,
Oh yeah.
the right era.
Oh yeah. Built-in belt sort of thing, and then like a Beck T-shirt from Hot Topic.
Oh
that
my
I
god,
still
no,
know
I'm imagining
fuck
this
out of.
so vividly.
Mhm. It has like
I bet you pulled it off probably.
I
Yeah,
did.
And everyone, you probably pulled off the neon, you pulled
Yeah.
off the fedora.
Yeah.
It's great.
Also-
I did not pull off the leggings and the blazer. We can all be honest about that.
I think you did.
How do you know?
I was there.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
Maybe
also
I
wore
might have a
red
different
velvet
opinion.
blazer with it.
Wow.
Okay, well, so that took it to a place where it was no longer casual.
No, it wasn't. It was not casual. Red crushed velvet little blazer jacket,
You know,
scrunchy on the wrist.
okay,
Were
because
you
you needed to
watching
become.
like it? Were you watching?
Was this like 2018?
Stranger?
I know it was 2018.
I was very like
Mhm.
the 80s style.
It was.
in
It had a little.
2018.
You know,
come on.
bless our parents' hearts, right? Because they let us all walk out the door wearing these outfits.
When they wore them back in the 80s too. Like,
Yeah, my mom would
They
drive
just
me to
let them
school.
do it.
I'm decked out in that, going to middle school.
yeah.
I had a rolly suitcase. People bullied me.
Aw.
I was cool as fuck. So like,
No,
I
you
stand by
were.
it.
You were unique. You
I
had a,
really stand by it.
You had a personality that no one else had at that
Mhm.
point. They were just like cookie cutter.
And to be honest,
None of them were willing to wear the crushed red blazer.
people were mean, but also there was kind of a point where I started being like so weird that it was kind of like, I actually don't know if I have anything to say about it, and then people
Right.
really left me alone.
Amazing.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, and
I
that's my
had too much to
philosophy.
say about it.
About people being
About
weird?
the stuff that people said that I was weird about. I was way too defensive. I was like, okay, well, you're boring, and then they would be like, I'm never gonna leave you alone again. I'd be like,
But like, live your truth.
yeah. My problem in middle school was that I knew too many people in my middle school from childhood, and they were unwilling to recognize that we were friends at one point. And I would be like, we knew each other, we hung out, and they'd be like, I don't know you, and I'd be like, well, we
I
were
get
6
that,
months
actually.
old, so like low key, that's fair. And then I'd be like, but I saw a picture of it, so like I know it's real.
But we looked cool and we had good music taste, so really,
Yeah.
we're winners at
Yeah,
the end of the
no,
day.
exactly. Bad choices were made in like Ascent. I only went to 2 years of middle school. I was homeschooled before then. And those 2 years of middle school, I got a lot of things out of the way that needed to happen. I got,
Yeah.
like, 2 years was enough.
I only had 2 years.
I would have been
too.
scared what a third year would have done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I only had 2 years too, not because I was homeschooled, but just
Yeah.
because my district like switched things over.
Right.
And yeah, 2 years was enough.
2 years was enough. I went through everything I needed to go through in those 2 years. High school had its own problems, but like middle school, I did not need to do 6th grade. I was so scared of what would have happened if I'd done 6th grade. Yeah. For me, on the subject of the question,
Oh, yeah.
Look at me.
my music taste has stayed. I would say, like when I started going to public school, I really wanted to fit in, so I like kind of went away from everything that my parents had shown me growing up, and that was a mistake, and I shouldn't have done that. And then in high school I started to sort of get back into it, and then when I came to college I realized I was like, no one's watching me, no one knows what's on my phone, I can listen to whatever I want. And then I was like, why don't I just listen to the things I want to again? And so I definitely did that. So like middle school and like beginning of high school, I would say that I was very like pop music, top 40, like, I don't know, I just thought that that's what everybody else was listening to, which they were, because I lived in small town Nebraska, so like, yeah. But there was people that weren't listening to it, and then they would be like, and then they were the cool kids, and I just didn't know how to get to that like level of being cool where you could be yourself.
Yeah.
I was like, I can't reach that yet. And then, but then college, I was like, no, this is good. I want to like listen to things that I enjoy again and kind of get back into music that I feel like. So it was like back to like a lot of like indie music, I would say, like tons of like. Recently, it's been like, lots of like, one of my friends asked if I was okay because I'd only been listening to like Lord Huron for the past like 3 weeks, but like Lord Huron and like Gregory on Iskoff and the Beatles, which sounds stupid, but like I just sometimes you forget about them and then you like move on, and it hits exactly, yeah. But so stuff like that, and then like, yeah, She and Him, I didn't listen to for years, and then I was like, no, wait, why am I not listening to this? It's stupid. Like, obviously, I love this. So, yeah. But, yeah, pretty constant over the years. Not a lot of change.
What's the question?
Has your music taste, like, changed over the years?
Yeah.
Mine definitely has.
Throughout middle school, I was listening to mostly, like, the Steven Universe soundtrack. And then, like, high school hit, and I was, like, moving back from Ohio, because for some reason I lived in Washington, I moved to Ohio, and then I moved back, and so I didn't really know anyone at my high school anymore.
Yeah.
And for a little bit there, I was, in fact, a fan of AJR.
That was my first concert.
Me too!
Yeah.
No way!
When?
It's
Oh,
okay.
What year?
Things
Like
happen.
2019?
The Neo Theater tour.
I think we need to just.
And they were so good. Like, I'm not gonna lie.
Honestly, one of my favorite
They put on a
concerts
great
I've been
show.
to. I'm not. Yeah.
They are.
I saw them at Red Rocks.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's serious.
You
That
guys
sounds
are
cool.
you guys are cool no matter what.
There's like
No, because I would get bullied for this. I got bullied for being an AJR fan. I had that
I feel
hat.
so much closer to you because of
Me
this.
too. That
Yeah.
I'm so like no one. People think I'm fucking crazy when I tell them.
I just
this.
wasn't into it, so I just don't think I get it.
It's not. Well, there's not much to get.
Yeah, I'm aware.
And so eventually I was bullied for it so much by like my friends that I was like, okay, I just can't like be open about this anymore.
they were
And
trying to help you.
They were trying to help me. I guess they were.
They were like,
Yeah.
get them out. Like, help this person.
And so then I was just into like I was bumping Kim Petras in like 2017. I was there early.
So okay, but like that was like that was with the
It
people.
was like yeah, exactly. And then I was into like the indie for a while, like Neutral Milk Hotel and blah blah blah. And I got really into Shoo Shoo, who I still love. And yeah, so I think it stayed consistent with like I like all the music that I've been into, except maybe AJR. So I don't know how I feel about them. Like I like them in my heart, but like I can't go back and listen to it.
You
But,
know, like having it open on your phone, you're like, oh, people are gonna know.
Yeah,
That's how I feel about something.
And like
so,
listening to it now, I'm like, was I really listening to this every day back then? And I was.
On the Chromebook.
On the Chromebook, I was looking up YouTube and I had a playlist. So yeah, I go through eras of listening to music, but like I don't think my taste really changes. I like it all.
Well,
Yeah.
This is a shocking revelation.
Yeah, the way you're looking at me.
No, it's because
you know, a lot
there-
of
I
people
haven't-
went through this.
No,
you're not
I-
alone. There should be like
I
an
understand.
AGR
I'll
support group.
I'll tell you a KUGS story later.
Yeah. first concert was AJR
Yeah.
with my mom.
With my mom,
Shout
of
out
course.
Amanda.
Wow.
Love
And my
her
mom
to death.
loved it. My mom still talks about that concert.
My mom was she loved it. And like the visuals were cool.
No, and you have to be like, Mom, I don't listen to that anymore. Like, I'm over it.
My dad still like has, I think, multiple times seen like Katy Perry's like residency in Las Vegas in
Oh
like
my
the last
God.
like 2 or 3 years,
Hell yeah.
and like he knows of Katy Perry because of me in like first grade. And
My
I
parents don't.
really listen
My
to
parents
it
didn't
anymore.
shut up about the first concert they took me to for a long time, but mainly because I went to one concert and then I waited like until 3 years ago to go to another one. I was 9 years old, and from the ages of 9 until like 19, so 10 years, I didn't go to any concerts because my first one, I was so freaked out that I was like, I don't ever do that again.
Who was it?
Mates of State. It was great.
I don't know who that
They're
is.
really cool. It was the music was really good. It was just that like it was in a bar. There was a lot of people. I was a kid. I was freaking out.
My first
Yeah.
first concert was at Bumbershoot in 2003, and I was like 8 months old. And
Okay, so I went to
parents were seeing
concerts, like-
REM and Wilco.
I
open
went
for
to
them.
concerts like that as a baby,
Oh,
but
yeah.
not. I mean consciously, like a bit like
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
first
like it was
concert
your
you went to.
choice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
Like AGR.
That was a
Don't
choice.
include me in that.
Except Chloe.
I will say, 7th grade, or like the month before 7th grade started, I went to go see Walk the Moon
Mm.
in their big Shut Up and Dance
Yes.
phase. Yeah, and Milky Chance and Coin opened for them.
I
Oh
love
my
Milky
God.
Chance.
Yeah,
So,
Milky Chance was
yeah.
awesome to see, but yeah, I went entirely for the Shut Up and Dance.
Y'all ever listen to Matt and Kim?
Yes.
Oh.
They're
Yeah,
like-
yes,
Yes.
yes, yes. Same time as AJR,
course.
like very similar
Oh.
little like. I'm on YouTube.com
What a
and I'm like.
juxtaposition.
music
I'm on
is real.
YouTube.com. That's
Yeah.
so real.
And I'm
So
listening to,
facts.
what was it, like Cameras by Matt and Kim, and like just like so indie, so
You said this was at the same time as the AJR phase?
yeah. I was
Okay.
deep in it.
Interesting.
That's
On the
Anyone
Google
else? The
phone.
Lonely Island? Anyone?
Oh,
Okay, so I have a Lonely Island CD.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
incredible.
my
I
roommate
love
bought
that.
it for like at this thrift store on Woodby, and she was like, I don't want to pay to buy this, and I was like, we're gonna want that later.
Anyone have a Flight of the Conchords?
Yes.
No, okay, I watched the
Same
TV
time
show
as
as a
AJR.
kid.
The
You watched that show
I
as a
like-
kid?
Yes, yeah, my
show was
parents
on
showed it to me. They were
listened
obsessed.
to
Yeah.
it as
Oh,
a kid.
no,
My
they-
dad
it's-
played
yeah.
the album for
Yeah,
me, but I never
yeah.
watched the show until it
The
came out.
got
epileptic
really-
dog song. The epileptic dogs. My dad quotes that all the time. He'll just be like, and those epileptic dogs, and I'll be like, yeah. Okay, Dad. Show.
I love. Yeah.
They were fun.
Yeah.
And it was fun later as like a teenager to see them. I was really confused when I was okay, so I just thought that like I was like, they're Flight of the Conchords. He can't be in this movie with all these other people without the other guy. Where's the other guy? Because one of the Flight of the Conchords guys was in
He was in Moana.
What We Do in the Shadows.
What we do.
Oh,
in the
yeah, he was in-
No, and I was
Yeah.
and I thought it was like I was like, this is so silly and weird. It's a continuation
It
of the
was
TV
Jermaine.
show. Yeah, and I was like,
Clement.
where's the other
He was
one?
also in Moana.
Who
Okay.
was he in
Yeah, he
Moana?
was
He
like
was
the
the-
crab.
He's the crab. He's the
Oh.
I didn't even
He
watch
sings
it.
Yeah.
the
But
song.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was my favorite song from the movie.
Yeah.
I love
Crazy
Flight of
you
the
have a favorite
Conchords.
song from Moana.
I would agree. That's the best
No,
song
it's
in
good.
Moana.
I don't think I've like seriously paid attention to a Disney movie in like a long time.
I could
I
have
think
a
the
favorite
last-
song from any movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
I
fair.
Never saw Moana.
Huh?
I didn't see
Oh
Moana.
yeah, no, me neither. But I did know
I'm
that
like-
Jermaine
I-
Clement was the crab.
I babysat a lot during that time, so I watched Moana.
I think like right when it like came out, or no, right when Disney Plus like became a
Mm.
like thing, I was home with the flu in the middle of the summer for like 2 weeks, and so
Oh,
I
so
just
you watched
binge
Moana.
watched.
So you watched Moana. Yeah. I did not watch it like that. It was like on in the background. I was just trying to like wrangle a kid or something. I don't know. Yeah.
Was your Flight of the Conchords phase before or after your Queen phase? This is
After.
a research question.
It was after. Flight of the Conchords phase. I feel like I go through. I like rediscover artists like because I listened to it as a kid and like
Yeah.
I like Fuda Fafa was like
Yeah.
a big that was a big part of my childhood. But
Mother Uckers That was one
Yeah.
that was really part of my
Yes.
childhood.
Oh my gosh. And the hip hoppopotamus.
Yes.
Rhinoceros.
The hip hop about it was
Yeah, no. But yeah, I feel like I had so many different phases that I'm like,
Yeah.
I can't even like distinguish them because I feel like I would just get really into. I got really into Mika.
Oh my god, I
I
loved
was
Mika.
Obsessed with Mika. I
Yeah.
wrote about him in my diary.
Oh my god.
That was what I was
Yeah.
listening to in middle school. It's coming back to me.
No, and I
Yeah.
wouldn't.
Yeah.
I like. My mom bought me a Mika shirt as like a reward for like doing some tasks, and like I wore it all the time. It was like really ugly. It had him like flying or like dramatically, and it had like this like gold liquid. I don't know. It was not appealing.
That band merch though felt like everything.
Yeah.
In middle
I
school.
know.
It
Yeah.
was.
I wore a
felt so
21
cool.
Pilots shirt in middle school, and I
Hell
thought
yeah.
I was so cool.
Mm-hmm.
And you were.
I drew an Arctic Monkeys fan art thing, and then I like had it printed on a
Whoa.
shirt, and it was pretty awesome. And then I like did a really like emo photo shoot, put on like dark lipstick, and like drew some like moon cycles under my eyes
That's
or
so
something
cool.
like that,
Oh,
and
yeah.
had my like Arctic Monkey shirt that I made, and I was like, they're so cool.
You're like,
Yeah.
post these on Instagram immediately.
These are really, and I think I like put a black and white filter on it.
That's awesome. Okay, so is there an album or a song that you would say like sums up your current musical interests? Like if you could pick one.
I have to pull up the Spotify.
Yeah, obviously. Pull up the Spotify.
Pull up the Spotify.com.
Yeah, Spotify.com.
Pull up the YouTubemusic.com.
I have to be pretentious and I have to say I need to go get my iPod.
Wow.
That's what I was thinking earlier.
God.
When we were talking about the last song we listened to, I was like, I can't check because it's on my iPod. My iPod's out there.
I had an MP3 player as a kid. And
Oh my gosh.
it was everything. Kermit the Frog headphones to the
Oh
MP3
my god.
We were talking
No, this
about
is a
trends.
throwback.
No,
I was
'cause
curious what generation it was gonna be.
It's the second generation
Did
mini.
yours,
I
was
have
yours,
the
like, a little
fourth.
pod? Like
Ooh,
I had the
that's
full-
the good
I had, like,
one.
a little-
Yeah.
I
I
remember
got it for
getting
Christmas.
the
Was
full
that
screen
shape?
one.
It was like
It was teal. I had the teal one, and I got
Like
so
this big.
excited.
Oh, the iPod Touch.
Yeah, it was the
Yeah.
iPod Touch, and I was so excited. I was like, "This is everything." But my iPod, my original hot pink like iPod Shuffle, like you could play games on it, and the iPod Touch you could not play games on, and I was like, "This is fucked up."
Your iPod Touch?
My iPod Touch you couldn't play games, and my iPod Shuffle you could play games.
Your iPod Touch?
What?
The one, yeah, like
This is,
this big.
Unbelievable to me.
Oh, like the mini.
It was
yeah,
the whole thing.
Nano.
The whole thing with this was a screen.
Yeah,
Not the
the
not
iPod
the
Touch
nan
Nano.
not the Nano.
No,
Not
the
the
iPod
Nano?
Touch Nano was about this big.
It was like a
Oh.
square.
Yeah, it
there
was
was
tiny,
there was the
it was
rectangle
tiny.
nano and there's the square one.
It was
I had the
rectangle
rectangle
one.
one.
Okay.
But then I also had like
Okay.
the hot pink one that kind of had
It was
like,
like
it wasn't
7%?
like a square if you like hold it
that's
up and down
smart.
like that. It had like a weird like it was weird. It was a strange shape, and
forgot
it
what
was like the
question
one where
it
you like did the circle
Yeah.
like that, but the
Yeah.
older version of that
Okay.
even.
We were
Like the
talking-
screen was bigger and it was colored.
We were talking about trends of like music. Recently, I've rediscovered OK Go.
Oh my god,
Mm.
love them.
I went
music
and like
videos.
watched all of
So
their
good.
music
Yeah.
videos recently.
I've been saying I was like I said earlier, I was having this conversation. Music videos make a comeback. Bring
Yeah.
back
Yeah.
good music videos.
Good music-
Storytelling.
creative music
Japanese
yeah.
Breakfast, Orlando in Love is a beautiful music video. She shot part of it in Korea and part of it here. And
Was that the one you were telling me about with
I
like,
was
the
telling
drag
you,
artist?
it's really
Or just
yes,
yeah.
yes.
God,
It's
cool. Because
really good.
what brought this back for me is I saw a One Direction music video for the first time in a long time, and
Which
I was
one?
like, As the Night Changes, and I was like, this is artistry. There's a story here.
That's the one where you're on a date with all of them?
That's As the Night Changes,
Oh.
I think. Yeah.
Yeah,
No, and
yeah.
it switches, and it's
Mhm,
it's
that's
POV
cinema.
your perspective.
That's cinema. Me
It's
and Harry
POV
Styles.
It's
your
your name.
perspective.
It's Y/N.
No, literally. No, they shot it so that it looked like you were on the
Oh, they
date
knew
with
what they were
them.
doing
Yeah.
with that one.
No,
They
literally.
knew what they were
They were
doing.
they like did it so that like Harry Styles starts to like grab your face and you're like and it feels like you're there and you're like
And you're on YouTube.com caressing your laptop.
me personally I never was interested. One Direction freaked me out. I was
Me
like
too.
they're freaks. Get them away from me.
Okay, I just actually was I thought it was more edgy, so I did the
Yeah.
5 sauce.
Oh no, I was like, I don't get it. I don't get why. Like I was
anti One Direction. I remember being like, in public, I would be like, I think they're weird. I don't like them. Get them away from me. And in private, I was like, okay, it's kind of good sometimes.
That's how I was. I thought I was so cool by being like, I don't care about
No, I was
Direction.
like, I don't like
6th
them. They're all
grade.
British and they're all weird. I like David Tennant.
Oh my god.
Right.
Of course.
Which, like, okay.
Well, he's Scottish and he was cool, so.
yeah.
And I was
Cool.
obsessed
I was
with
obsessed
him.
with him, and I was in
also-
love with him, and I loved
know.
everything about him.
I have.
Thank you.
Yes.
One time he came onto an interview wearing a sweater, and the sweater had a fox on it, and the fox was wearing a sweater, and the fox was wearing had a sweater on it.
I've seen that. I
And wearing
know
a
what you're
fox.
talking
And
about.
I was like, this is humor at its max. You've never gotten funnier than this. It's so good. I was obsessed with him. Well, because my parents, they started watching Doctor Who. They would rent it from the library, and I was a child, and I was like, what is this? Who is this?
My man.
I was like, I love him.
I met him.
Oh my god.
I have my friend secretly recorded at Comic-Con our interaction. I
Oh
like
my
was
God.
practicing in
That's
the
so-
line. I was like
no, yeah.
practicing what I was gonna say.
Because you have to practice. Because it's happened to me.
I
and
practiced,
I've,
and then I
I've,
got
like-
there and I went mute. I went completely
No.
mute.
No.
And then my friend was like,
No,
"They
your friend
love
has to
you.
talk.
They've seen you in Broadchurch and Doctor Who, and then I have this on video. He goes, "Oh, that's lovely, Chloe." I was like,
if I met him, oh my god. There's multiple people that if I met them, I know exactly what I would say. David Tennant, I haven't practiced, but I think I have like an idea because he was just so special to me. Like I was like, and I felt like he was just mine. Like I was like, nobody else
Yeah.
fucking gets it.
Yeah.
I'm the only person I know who's watching Doctor Who because it's Lincoln, Nebraska, and no one's watching Doctor Who, which is a lie. I found out people were later. I thought it was so niche though, and I was like, my mom got me like. I have the screwdrivers.
Oh yeah, same.
Yeah.
I also have
And
those.
and then on top of that, this guy who I was friends with, who like I had like just this crush on as a kid, he dressed as David. He watched Doctor Who too, and he started to dress as David Tennant. He had a trench coat. He had the Converse.
fell in love.
He had I was already in love, and this made it way worse.
Right.
I was like, oh my god, okay, thank you so much. I was like at home, and I'm like, oh thank God. We met. The first time I remember meeting, because this will add to previous things, was when I went to go see Percy Jackson.
Oh.
So I
It's
was
tying
like,
together. It's all.
Yeah.
That's
I was like,
crazy.
It's weaving.
he followed me throughout life.
I would not take off those goddamn red high top
Yeah.
Converse. They
Oh, and I still
became-
don't.
And I had to get a second pair because
Yeah.
they got so just like destroyed, and
Yeah.
I had like holes in the bottom of my shoes, and my teachers would make fun of me
Yeah.
and be like,
Your teacher.
That's
I
crazy.
know,
That's
I
crazy.
know. I think that
Like, you have
if people
clown
wanted to take it back and
Or,
start
like,
dressing well, they could start wearing red high top Converse and slacks again because it's a kind of a good outfit, kind of fire. Did I watch when he returned to Doctor Who? Yes. Horribly disappointed.
When he returned to Doctor Who, when? Like Day of
Last
the
year.
Doctor? Last year?
Last year when he
what?
did he did a whole 3-episode special where he was a doctor again. You are out of touch with the Doctor Who
I
community.
stopped paying attention. I don't know.
Yeah, that's
like
fair.
that. there
Well,
was a
so I
season
didn't
it
because
was
Matt
bad.
Smith then came and I was like, who is this man? I'm also
yeah,
interested.
it was kind of a
Whoa.
who is this man?
Yeah, I was
So
like
we have Matt Smith like.
in the building. I love him.
Oh,
I
don't
know
understand
I
him.
love him. I think he was
Oh.
great as a doctor.
Uh-oh.
oh,
I don't like him
I'm not like I
He
don't
freaks
think
me
he was,
out now.
I don't think he was like bad as the doctor.
But it
I
definitely was who
I
was
just,
this man.
Yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
because it's like a new doctor and
Yeah.
you're like, who is this?
No, it was definitely who was this man. But then I was like, okay, you're funny.
I
I'll
liked
take
Peter
it.
Capaldi, the old guy.
That's a hot take.
Scottish. And
Yeah.
he was allowed to use his Scottish accent,
Yeah.
and David Tennant wasn't.
Wait, he wasn't allowed to? I thought he just made it. Whoa.
No, I think they're like, oh, he's British.
They've
in
got to
this.
work that out.
Well, they did.
That's not right. Oh
'cause
yeah, they did. 'cause Peter
Sadly, the new Doctor I don't love, which is
Jodie.
Jodie.
really no, the new one.
Whitaker.
Oh,
Nikita Guang.
From Sex Ed.
What?
Yeah.
Sorry, I haven't seen him in this role, but I absolutely adore this
let me
man.
like kill this idea that it's good.
Well,
Disney Plus makes it now,
What?
and
They've
it's
taken it
crazy. It's not the same anymore.
It's not.
Do you go okay? Well, because so I grew up watching Doctor Who, and I was like, Doctor Who is like kind of a progressive show. They're showing like
Yeah.
queer couples on the show. Because there was that couple where it was like a lesbian couple, but one of them was
A lizard.
And I was like,
Jenny
but
Slate.
but they were like so chill about it, which I thought was like the cool part of it. As a younger
Yeah.
kid, I was like, they don't need to announce it, and that's what makes it so cool.
Oh no.
So now Doctor Who is very woke, I would say. And like
The woke
every
moms.
episode, the villain is like racism, and they're like killing. They think they're killing it, and I'm like, I get it. It's not the same anymore though,
That's.
because it's not made by BBC.
I feel like that's sad because I feel like that when Nakuti got what was like
Nikita Guang.
go on.
I think that's how you say it. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Was announced, everyone was like
No, they're
vicious
trying.
and like vicious like
I
I
was-
was Doctor Who is gone. They're woke now.
I
blah,
was
blah,
so
blah, and that's, like, really
excited.
disappointing to hear.
I was so excited, and I thought I was so pumped because I really like them, and I really
Yeah.
liked them in Sex Education. And it's not their performance, I would say. I think it's an overall change, and it's just different. And like, I understand that. Well, because I didn't realize this until I watched it, but not only like did Jodie leave, but it's like you know like when Christopher Eccleston came on the show, and it was like a new Doctor Who. They've done that again. So it's a new Doctor Who. It's like not the same,
Yeah.
but also it's like the same production and writers, so it's confusing.
Okay. Stephen Moffat still?
Yeah.
He kind of sucks at
low
writing,
key.
I'm not gonna lie.
Low key sucks.
He kind of sucks big time.
Big time.
Sherlock BBC, anyone?
Anyway, I would say that my
Were
album,
you super hula?
I never watched Supernatural,
Dude.
but I was a Hulock. Just that. Yeah.
Just the hula.
Just the Hulock.
I've never seen a single episode of Doctor Who.
that's so sad.
I've only
You don't-
seen like a couple.
But I know about David Tennant. I've heard the rumors.
I think you
I've
should
only
maybe
seen the
watch like
David
some
Tennant
David Tennant
ones.
episodes.
No, the David
just
Tennant's
you know.
really good.
Like he's really good.
There's
Yeah.
one. It's called The Girl in the Fireplace. Really good.
We have a signed picture of I think Matt Smith as the doctor in our house right now because my old roommate just left it there.
Can I have that? I'm kidding. I don't want to.
No,
Don't
keep it.
keep it. That's
I don't know
yours.
Hang it
if
up in every
my
house you live in.
signed-
Yeah.
My signed David Tennant. But I got the Broadchurch one just so he would know that I like watch more than just Doctor Who.
You're a
Doctor
serious
Who
fan.
is a task to watch. I started rewatching it this last fall. It is not easy. So like I'm like, if I met him, I would be like, I watched new Doctor Who, and I dedicated my life to it. Frankly. Yeah. Okay. But anyway, back to the
actual-
question. So I would say, what album or song encapsulate your current music interest?
Oh God.
I think that I went and saw I got really into Maggie Rogers over the summer and like last fall, and then I went and saw her in October, and it was like beautiful. And her album Surrender, which is not the last one that came out, but the one before that, was amazing. It was so good. Every song on it, banger. That's also another word we should bring back is banger. Banger. But also of all time, Nico Case, Fox and Best Remains of Flood is the album I think that like will always like if there's like one album that I will carry out with me throughout my whole life, it's that album. Like it never leaves me. It is always with me.
And mine for that would probably be AJR Neo Theater.
Yeah.
I can't narrow it
It's
down.
hard to choose.
Yeah.
Can I just say some things?
Say
on
list
repeat?
off stuff.
Okay, I've been listening to also a lot of Maggie Rogers.
It's good.
The Arcs, love the Arcs. Good, just like good stuff. It's like very like gritty, like on the microphone sort of noise.
I
Okay.
love that.
I don't know if any of that made sense.
No, I
does.
did. It did.
Faye Webster, a lot of Big Thief, and there's this song "Nothing But Everything But John" by John and Roy. Really good. Lots of just like guitar,
Yeah.
you know, because it's winter, it's cold.
Right. Yeah. That's
That's my
facts.
piece.
Love.
I feel like if I had to choose one to like encapsulate, I feel like Puberty 2 by Mitski, just like it got me through a hard time, and it was just like very pivotal in like high school and also my own music making.
Yeah.
And I think that one just is like a big all-timer. But yeah, I don't know. I think that it's so hard to like say like your whole music taste in one album, because I feel like it is very like expansive.
That's why it's like at the moment, like the same
Oh,
thing.
at the moment?
Yeah, current, yeah. Like if you could pick like one album that you would say like right now is like your music taste, like it encapsulates what you are listening to. But that's fair if you can't.
No, I've been listening to a lot of canto pop, which has been really good.
Awesome.
Yeah, I don't know. And then also Charlie XCX, How I'm Feeling Right Now. Oh, I've been like torturing myself with that album for the past 2 months, like in a really horrible way.
You like come onto campus, you're like,
I
have to play it. I have to play it.
Like I have it in my ears. I'm like,
You got me onto it.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
And that, yeah, it's sad.
It's really.
But it's like up.
But I'm also like.
that's kind of Charlie's vibe.
How
I
I'm
feel
feeling
like
right
something.
now.
Yeah.
She's making like stuff that you could dance to in the club, but then suddenly like you're really drunk in the club and you start listening to the lyrics actually, and you're like,
In the bathroom.
this is bad.
Oh my god.
You're like, this is bad. It's beautiful. Okay, so get out the iPod.
Yeah. Well, the girls are bringing back Imogen Heap, so that's what I've been listening
Okay, so yes, yeah.
to. Yeah,
love.
so I've been listening to
a
Speak
little
for Yourself.
headlock.
Yeah.
I liked that before it was on that TikTok trend. I would like to just like
too.
officially confirm that.
Good Night and Go. It's such a good song. Oh my god.
That whole album.
That whole album
is
is
amazing.
just like
And you know
from
what?
start to finish, and she changed everything.
Literally, you know what? Okay, so I was at the park recently, and this man approached my car, and I was listening to Imogen Heap while he approached my car, and I was like, please leave me alone. And that's my taste in my mouth of Imogen Heap at the current moment, so it's not great. But I, as a child, listened to Imogen Heap because my mom did, and then as a young teenager, somebody was listening to that Jason Derulo song, and I was like, this is Imogen Heap! I was like, this is Imogen Heap, guys!
What Jason Derulo song?
The one...
What you say?
What you say?
Oh.
He samples Imogen Heap. He took her lyrics. And so it's listening, and I'm like, that's Imogen Heap, guys. And everybody's like, that's Jason Derulo, and I'm like, it is not. So like, if anybody else was an indie child and was on that, same.
There's also this song, Music Is My Hot Hot Sex by CSS.
I love that song.
Oh my god, I'm
Were
obsessed
you
with
the one
it.
who put CSS on
I
backtrack?
did.
I was
did
like,
put them
who
on
did this? Who
backtrack.
did
I'm
this?
obsessed with them right now. They're so good.
Really good.
And Alice Long You Gal. Just everything by her. I love her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's when you
She's
know
so
it's
cool.
good, is when it's like, you don't even have to talk about it. It's just like a resounding like, yeah, that's all I gotta say. Molly?
I've been watching How I Met Your Mother,
Yeah.
so like all of the soundtrack of that, because I've been listening to it.
Molly texted me and was like, if you've never heard this song before, like, you should listen to it. I really think you'd like it. And I was like, that's on the How I Met Your Mother soundtrack. And I have a playlist that has all the music off the How I Met Your Mother soundtrack. Would you like it?
Yeah,
I was like,
I've been rewatching it, so I was just like listening to like, all the music from the show. That's like currently, and like since I've come up to college, like for the last 4 years or so, like movie script ending by Death Cab for Cutie, because it's about Bellingham,
yeah.
constantly playing it. So that's very much
You
right
know-
now. Yes.
If you like Imogen Heap, it's totally different.
Whoa.
But it's like low-key the same in my mind for some reason. You guys have that where it's like there's some music where it's like you know it's not the same. You know the artists have not like talked or something, but you're like, this in my mind they're connected, they're
Totally.
correlated.
I see that
Lord.
Hey Soul Sister.
Okay, girl.
Oh my god.
It was for
That and Pandora music. Oh my god.
it was for something. It was
I had a big train phase.
Yeah.
I wasn't. I don't.
Of course you did.
I don't think
On the
I
Kindle.
actually don't remember this. Facts. Hem is like in my mind. I don't know why they're not at all the same.
Hem?
But I think Hem and or Image and Heap I connect in my head,
Mm-hmm.
and specifically the album Rabbit songs. I feel I connect them together, and I don't know why. But that is something that it's another thing. I'm like, this is it's. I've been listening to a lot right now. I actually found myself writing a paper a couple days ago, and I was just like sitting there and I was typing and I was listening to no music because there was TV playing, and I was like singing, and I was like, wait, do I all know all the words to this Hem song? And then I was like, yeah, I do. That's awesome. I did not know that. It's in your head, like it just sticks with you.
A lot of their songs are actually just covers.
Hem?
Mhm.
Well, they're beautiful.
How
Beautiful.
do you
They do
spell it? Is it like
amazing.
H-E-M?
H-E-M.
They do amazing covers.
Yeah,
There's a cover to an R.E.M. song.
You're gonna listen to it and you're gonna be like, absolutely no way that this girl thought that Image and Heap and this artist are the same. They're not. But in
Yeah,
my
I don't
brain,
see that one.
but in my brain, I just connect them for some reason. I think it's time periods, honestly.
That's
Yeah.
like DJing low key. Like when I'm
Yeah.
doing a set, there's a lot
Yeah.
of like, this connects to this somehow, just like
I don't.
trust.
It's just like
know.
good
It's like,
vibes.
and sometimes it really works, and you're
Mhm.
like, why did that work?
Mhm.
Like
Yeah.
play a little headlock, and then when I was drinking, one after another, I think it would work.
Yeah.
I don't know. I also do that to Nico Case, Regina Spektor, and
Yeah. I see
Regina
that.
Spektor.
Regina Spektor was big.
That
Regina
was-
Spektor was a
She was
moment
so
for me.
She was my like first favorite.
Dance
artist.
Anthem of
Yeah,
the
I, like,
80s
Clueless.
was off of
Clueless.
that song Dance Anthem of the 80s. I listened to that so
Fidelity.
often.
Oh.
Oh, Fidelity.
Fidelity.
Better
So
off
good.
of Fidelity is so good. It's all good. And you know what? They've gotten I haven't the new stuff. I'm like, it's okay. I don't know.
I
there
never
was
listened to. I would listen to like the first three, and then I never went back.
the first 3 albums.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, like the stuff that's been come out recently, it's kind of depressing.
Damn.
Like they gotten sad. They like people broke up with them, and it's just like
For Regina Spektor?
yeah. There was an album
Yeah.
that was strange.
Yeah.
There was an album that was
Princess.
odd. It was just
odd.
it wasn't matching the vibe of everything else, and I was like, okay, as an
She's
artist, you've
so-
grown, and
Yeah, she's kind of ruined some of her music because she is
A scientist.
Yep.
oh
I've also, yeah,
Big
that has
crazy
ruined it
That's
as well for
sad.
me.
which
Yeah,
is
that'll
so
ruin it.
because
That
that was
sucks.
like my favorite of
Yep.
all like growing up, and like I saw her in concert and she was just like this. She shouted out like every like Seattle Children's Hospital like kid, and like
Mhm.
was like had the like whole audience be like, "We love you," like blah blah blah. It was like the sweetest moment. I'm like, how is this possible?
Disappointing.
How
Yeah.
Yeah.
no, but yeah, Nico Case, Regina Spektor, and then like there's another artist in there that
Feist?
Feist.
Musha Boom, I assume with like all
Feist
of
and
those.
Let
No,
It
okay.
Die.
That whole
That
album.
album.
No, okay. I was literally last night. My roommate Ella has a KUGS show. She was like, my theme for tomorrow I think is gonna be like sad winter. You're inside. You're kind of depressed. It's snowing, and you're like, I just want spring. And I was like pulling CDs from our CD collection, and I was like, Let It Die, bangers. Every song on this album, banger. And I was like, this album is that. The song Inside and Out.
It's so good.
It's amazing.
It's really good.
That talking about a song that's like that's so it's so good. I don't even remember the moment when I first heard it
Yeah.
because I've listened to it so many times that it doesn't even matter at this point. I also for a really long time thought the lyric was baby I don't love you no more, your kisses taste like chow mein, because I was like a kid and I was just not listening, and then I looked at the lyrics one time and I was like, it's honey. That makes sense. Yeah. Slightly embarrassing for me. Because the way she said it, she's like, baby, I don't love you no more, your kisses taste like chow mein. And it could be honey or it could be chow mein. It's definitely honey.
It's definitely.
But
honey,
I was like a kid and I thought that she was like, I don't love you anymore, you keep eating chow mein. It's so gross. But Feist and Fiona Apple, that's who I
Oh my
connect.
god.
Yeah, I used to have.
Don't know
this-
why. Maybe it's a bit like I just do.
I would listen to like the Regina Spektor Pandora radio on repeat, and it was like Lenka,
Michelson.
Ingrid Michaelson, genius,
And
so
Oh my,
good.
Lenka. Oh my god.
Feist.
Oh my god. I just got like
Yeah.
transported back in time. Oh my god. I forgot she existed.
Feist and like Yeah, it was
It's
like,
so good.
I was always listening to that radio
Yeah.
on Pandora. It was,
I feel like The King of Everything by Sarah Bareilles came up on that album. Or
Oh.
that radio.
Kate Nash
Yeah.
as well.
She was pivotal. Pivotal. Up here.
Pivotal.
On, again, youtube.com. Love song.
Dude, you were like
Love
not
song.
on Spotify or Apple Music.
No, it was on
Your parents
YouTube.com.
didn't own CDs, didn't own vinyl. You're like, I'm on YouTube.com.
There were tons of CDs and MP3 players around and stuff. I think I just
You
like,
preferred YouTube.com.
I loved to be on that family computer on youtube.com
That's real.
watching Roar and
Roar. The Roar music
TGIF
video.
and yeah, just locked in, clocking in.
Me
to
personally,
YouTube.
I'm looking up Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief casino scene on repeat as a child. Taking back, being like, and yeah. It's like it's fun moments like that I think I really associate like now with music in like a fun way that like make me, I don't know, yeah, like I mean songs throughout like time, you could listen to one song over the span of like 20 years and it could mean different things at different points, but like it's I don't know, it's so special. Like I still listen to Poker Face. Do I suddenly feel like I'm on drugs? No. But
Yeah.
but it's still awesome. It's just not the same anymore. Yeah.
Now you need to listen to it on drugs.
Whoa.
I'm not gonna do that. I think that would
Change
be
the
so
content.
bad. I think
Yeah.
that would be so bad. No, I was like, guys, this is crazy. I think I told my parents, I was like, you shouldn't have shown me that. Like,
This is changing everything. If you said that you still walk through campus though, feeling like, whoa, at the casino, I believe you.
Yeah.
And
I
wouldn't
do
judge.
sometimes.
Yeah, I don't judge at all.
I think that's more of like a tired thing.
Mm.
Yeah, you know, like you're
Right.
walking across campus and you're listening and you're trying to figure out what to listen to and you're just
Yeah.
like in a daze. I'm just like, I'm trying to get to the VU.
Mhm.
Just let me get to the VU, honestly.
It's crazy how much context can just change how something sounds to you.
Yeah.
Like,
Mhm.
I don't know, like a song could be life-changing in one context, but then in another you're like, I can't do right now. It's
No,
just,
exactly.
yeah.
There's some music I can't go
Yeah.
back to unless it's
Yeah.
like a special
ADR.
occasion.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm
You should have told
beyond that. Like I can't listen to like In the Airplane Over the Sea anymore. Like I
Mm.
can't go back to it. I can't do that. And
Okay.
I have to
be
I have to
real
wait
moody.
for 10 years. Yeah, real.
No,
moody,
okay, mine is
real in-
Angelo to Augustine, You Needed Love, I Needed You. Such a devastating, heartbreaking song. I listened to it so often at one point, and now I'm like, it turns on in the car, and I'm like, I'm going to go into like a straight depression, like by listening to this song like one time, and I will be gone.
You know what? I get shocked when people still listen to Car Seat Headrest because like that was so like
My friends
Not
love
a
to
good-
course.
oh like that was just so like I can't go back to that point in my life, and I still love a lot of his music, but like people are like, yeah, I'm listening to Beach Life and Death every day. That's what one of my best friends said, and I'm like, what?
Are you good?
Every single day? And they're like, yeah, I'm fine. I don't believe you. That sounds insane. Like I think I would be. I
was in that in high school.
Yeah.
Like knife in my
Knife in my coffee.
Yeah. In the car. I'm like 16 and I'm just like, God, no one gets me. And yeah, it's like I gotta be real moody to get back into it or real nostalgic.
That's how I feel about Brandy Carlisle sometimes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like I remember.
Turpentine, I can't listen to that unless I'm nostalgic.
Literally
or
last
so
night.
sad.
Okay, no, Molly, because literally last night I put it on. I was like, my friend was like, I've only ever listened to the story off of that album, and I was like, well, of course you've only ever listened to the story because no one actually has ever fucking listened to the rest of the album. And I put it on, and Turpentine went on, and I was like, 16 years old, I'm driving to school, and I need to cry before I go to school at 7 a.m. I'm turning this on, and I'm sobbing for the next 7 minutes. And that's how it's gonna go. And my friend was like, oh my God. And I was like, that's just what it
Get
is.
into it.
That's just what it is. That and her album, Giving Up the Ghost. The whole album. Devastatingly sad.
There's a lot of songs that like.
And if I met Brandy, I would tell her that. I'd be like, you write sad music.
Yeah. There's a lot of songs that I didn't realize were like really sad and I associated with really happy memories because my dad was like going through some shit when I was a kid. And so like Knives Out by Radiohead, I have great nostalgic, oh, I'm in the car with my dad memories, and I listen to it now and I'm like, damn, this is a depressing song. What the hell? Anyways.
Well, you guys have anything else to say about your
Can
niche music?
my favorite album, maybe of all time, I've been thinking about it hard.
Yeah.
Collapsed in Sunbeams by Arlo Parks.
Oh.
It's a really good.
That's one of my I just love it. It's just perfect.
Yeah.
Need to get it tattooed on my body somehow. It's a current mission.
Okay,
Yeah.
I love that.
I don't know,
We're
I
all
just had
gonna
to say
see.
it.
We're all gonna see it in like a couple weeks, and someone's gonna be like, "Guess what?"
Yeah, every single word from the like every lyric. Yeah, love Arlo Parks. Just need that on the record.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's amazing. Last question before we go. This is it. So are there any songs, album artists you reserve for like specific moods or moments, like things? I guess we're kind of on the vein of what we're talking about, like music that you're like, I gotta cry, or I need to be happy. Like, I don't know.
I think it's called. I think the title of it is "We're All Right" by Sharon Van Etten. Cannot listen to that song unless I am going to cry, or I can cry because I will cry.
Yeah.
And then "Happy" by the KUGS. I love that song, and it makes me very happy. So there's a sad song and a happy song.
Times when I really, really, really want to be sad, I listen to what's the name of that figure skater? Who?
Tonya Harding.
Yeah, I listen to Tonya Harding by Sufjan Stevens.
Oh my god.
Because that song is absolutely heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Because did you know that Sufjan lined up the music, the instruments with a video of Tonya Harding skating? So if you watch, there's a music video. If you watch the music video, every time that the musical instrument, it makes he does this thing where it makes a sound where it sounds like a triple axel. And
Oh my
it
God.
lines up to her doing triple axels on this video.
I did not
And
know
it's
this.
absolutely heartbreaking. And that song, I just know it's gonna or Angela Augustine, which Angela Augustine is an apprentice low key of Sufjan Stevens. So of course he's gonna make me cry. Yeah, it's so sad. Also a lot of Iron and Wine.
Yeah.
I only go to music for a specific purpose though when I want to be sad. If I want to be happy, there's so much music I can listen to. Yeah. I will say a song that recently I've started to put an emotional weight onto, because I think there's music where you feel free and there's no meaning, you have no ulterior meaning behind it, and it's just a song. And then there's music where suddenly you've started to attach an emotional placement onto it or something, and then you're and then that's when it starts to be I'm not gonna listen to this.
Yeah.
Okay, Lily, I hate to interrupt you, but I have an interview
Oh, girl, yeah.
at about 4:30.
Okay, perfect. Wrap it up. Because I'll just talk for hours.
Yeah,
Definitely
you
like
will,
Sufjan
so.
Stevens, when I just need to feel
That's good.
alive, happy or sad.
Yeah.
Anything by him. I have happy music. Have you guys listened to the Go Team at all? Oh my god.
Sounds
It's just
like
it's samples and drums and then rapping over. So it just sounds like basic hip hop, but it's different. It's different. It's British. I don't know. It's so good. Just listen to it.
Well, anything British
It's
is
life changing. It's so good. Last
The
year.
Go Team?
The Go Team.
I feel like I've heard a song.
Probably.
Yeah.
They have a few known songs. They had songs and ads in the 2000s and for Olympic stuff. I don't know. They're really really good. Such happy music. It just the sun is coming up and it's the sunrise and it's beautiful. And when I need to feel myself, Fiona Apple.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Have you guys listened to Timps? I hadn't heard this song until last month. Timps, the Sick in the Head song.
Oh yeah,
my
see, I love
God.
that song.
So good.
And the waltz.
Yeah, the waltz is
Yeah.
really good.
I'm so sick in the head. Yeah, no, I know it. Yeah.
When I'm incredibly down bad, Elliott Smith, you know. Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of
Yeah.
self-explanatory. Yeah, Fiona Apple for sure. Mitski. I feel like Mitski can be a pick-me-up, and I'm feeling it.
Yeah.
But I also feel and then I can't think of things I haven't already said. So
No,
Flight of
that's
the
okay.
Conchords,
Yeah.
that one
They're
for happy.
so upbeat.
That's just it's
Yeah.
super. It's just ridiculous. It's you can't really be sad. But I don't really turn to music for happiness most of the time. I usually wallow because I can't I feel I don't know. I
Yeah.
get pissed if there's happy music and I'm sad. I'm like,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I don't want it. Yeah,
It needs to match.
Yeah,
No,
it
I'm
has
like,
to
I'm
match
gonna leave the
mood.
room now, actually. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I have to, like, get it together, like, I've been so sad. And it's like, let's
Let's pick it back up.
the album I was just talking about, Collapse and Sunbeams.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Black Dog. Love that song. And it makes me feel like, oh, right, things are fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is temporary.
Mm.
That's a beautiful feeling. I think it's really cool. Like, that's what, it's cool that music can do that to people. Like, it's, like, either make you sad or happy. I feel like that's something unique that...
It can also make you feel emotions that, like, there's not really a word for it.
Exactly,
Right.
yeah.
Just like guttural.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is Feist, Let It Die.
Yeah. Inside and out.
Yeah. So many of those songs. Yeah. I looked up the lyrics to the one song on that album that's in French, and I was like, oh my god, this is devastating. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's the last question, guys. It's been amazing.
Thanks for
I hope that
having
it's
us.
been a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you guys
Thanks
for
for
watching. Yeah, look at the time to look at the camera. Hey guys. Thank you all for watching. We've loved to get to chat with you. The best podcasts are ones where we just get to chat about things we love. So yeah, and look for us on Instagram and YouTube and TikTok at wavelength_WW. And we'll see you next time on Tripping on Bricks. Bye. Wavelength is a program of the Associated Students of Western Washington University, and we'd like to thank WWU's Digital Media Center for production support, as well as our music composer, Austin Colwell from Harbor Day. You can find a link to Austin's music in the episode description below.